जय कुंजरी बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंजरी बिहारी श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्वापितं मेन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं तदाम्बीशं पदांकियं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीवतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सागरदातं सगनरघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सगन ललिता श्री गुशाखां च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपदे गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो पंकज नाभाय नमो पंकज मालिने नमो पंकज नेत्राय नमो पंकजांगे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य संस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदरेण सपाय सुभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवे भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवन्ति नैष्टिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः मूकं करोतु वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिर्ये यत्कृत्वा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनदयाळुं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Sorry, there's a break during last week and this week also to continue that. Please pardon for that inconvenience, and we will continue regularly. Today we will be reciting on the sloka number 1.19.4, the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, first canto, 19th chapter, 4th sloka. You can recite along with me. Sri Chaitanya idam atasnata yata Munesha sutakto niratis taskara takshakaya jaha Sa sadhu mene nachirana takshaka Analam pratakshasya virakti karanam Sa chaitanya itam atasnat yata Mune sutokto niratis takshakaya haha Sa sadhu mene nachirante takshaka Analam pratakshasya virakti karanam Sa chintayan itam atrasnat yata Mune sutokto to niratis takshakaya haha Sa sadhu mene nachirana takshaka Analam pratakshasya virakti karanam Word by word meaning. Saha, he, the king. Chintayan, thinking. Hitam, like this. Ata, now. Asrunat, heard. Yata, as. Muni, of the sage. Suta Utaha, uttered by the sun. Nirataha, Niritihi, that death. Takshaka, Akshahaya, Akayaha, in relations with the snake bird. Saha, he the king. Sadhu, well and good. Menu, accepted. Na, not. Chirena, very long time. Takshaka, snake bird. Analam, fire. Praktikshaya, for one who is too attached. Virakti, indifference. Karanam, cause. Translation and purport by His Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. Translation. While the king was thus repenting, he received a news of his immediate death, which would be due to the bite of the snake bird. Oceaned by the curse spoken by the sage's son, the king accepted this as a good news, for it would be the cause of his indifference towards the worldly thing. Purport. The real happiness is achieved by spiritual existence or by cessation of the repetition of the birth and death. One can stop the repetition of birth and death only by going back to home, back to Godhead. In the material world, even by the Attaining the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, one cannot get rid of the conditions of repeated birth and death. But still we can do not accept the path of attaining perfection. The path of perfection frees one from all material attachments, and thus one becomes fit to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Therefore, those who are materially provoked, stricken, are better candidates than those who are materially prosperous, poverty stricken. Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of the Lord and a bona fide candidate for entering into the kingdom of God. But even though he was so, his material assets as an emperor of the world were setbacks to perfect the attainment of his rightful status as one of the associates of the Lord in the spiritual sky. As a devotee of the Lord, he could understand that the curse of the Brahmana boy, although unwise, was a blessing upon him, being the cause of detachment from worldly affairs, both political and social. Samikrishi Muni also, after regretting the incident, conveyed the news to the king as a matter of duty so that the king would be able to prepare himself to go back to Godhead. Samikrishi sent a news to the king that foolish Singhi, his son, although a powerful Brahmana boy, unfortunately had misused his spiritual power by cursing the king unwarrantedly. The incident of the king garlanding the Muni was not sufficient cause for being cursed to death, but since there was no way to retract the curse, the king was informed to prepare for the death within a week. Both Samik Muni and the king were self-realized souls. Samik Muni was a mystic and Maharaj Parikshit was a devotee. Therefore, there was no difference between them in self-realization. Neither of them was afraid of meeting death. Maharaj Parikshit could have gone to the Muni to beg his pardon, but the news of imminent death was conveyed to the king with so much regret by the Muni that the king did not want to shame the Munis further by his presence there. He decided to prepare himself for his imminent death and find out the way to go back to Godhead. The life of the human being is a chance to prepare oneself to go back to Godhead or to get rid of the material existence. The repetition of the birth and death, thus is in this system of Varnashrama Dharma, every man and woman is trained for this purpose. In other words, the system of Varnashrama Dharma is known as a Sanatana Dharma or the eternal occupation. The system of Varnashrama Dharma prepares a man for going back to Godhead, and thus householders is ordered to go to the forest as Vanaprasada as to acquire the complete knowledge and then take a sannyasa prior to his inevitable death. Parikshit Maharaj was fortunate to get a 7 days notice to meet his inevitable death, but for the common man there is no definite notice. Although the death is inevitable for all, foolish men forget this sure fact of the death and neglect the duty of preparing themselves for going back to Godhead. They spoil their lives in the animal propensities, so eating, drinking, be merry and enjoy. Such an irresponsible life is adopted by the people in the sage of Kali because of the sinful desire to condemn the Brahminical culture. God consciousness and cow protection for which the state is responsible, the state must employ revenue to advance these three items and thus educate the populace to prepare for the death. The state which does so in a real welfare state. The state of the India should better follow the example of Maharaj Parikshit, the ideal executive head, than to imitate other materialistic states which have no idea of kingdom of Godhead. The ultimate goal of human life, deterioration of the ideals of Indian civilization has brought about the deterioration of the civic life, not only in India but also abroad. Once again, welcome all the devotees for Nityam Bhagavata Seva. Every sloka is very interesting and very important. And every sloka, there is a hidden message for us, how we can apply in our day-to-day life. Because one of the class, one Mataji was asking, daily we are hearing Bhagavatam, how do we apply? So, that we have to dig out. We have to go deep and understand that what this sloka trying to tell and what Prabhupada is very nicely elaborated that sloka where the common man can easily understand. So many points are there to understand from this. So today's agenda also judge. Generally we do the biggest mistake is to judge. Judging the others or judging the incident of what's happening. So we have to let's understand something from these points. So here the just background about that king was very great devotee and he welcomed this curse which is going to be curse of his death by bite of snake. So he is a devotee, so just like that he accepted it. But who welcomes death? We will not do that. No? If you say that die, you are going to die means, oh my goodness. So it is our natural tendency to live long. So we want to live for a long time. So nobody want to die. Here Parikshit Maharaj is repenting. He was and he wanted to sinful action to counteract it by appropriate punishment. So in the previous sloka also we are saying that he is begging the Lord, don't punish all my dynasty. If a man in a family does any mistake, okay, it affects the entire family, like his wife, his children, parampara, everybody is affected. So he is begging the Lord, please don't curse them or punish them. It is I who made a mistake. Please, you give all the punishment to me. So that is how we have to realize that. See, self-realize. So he understands what is the consequence if you make a mistake. When he heard it that a curse by a son, he thought that it was the right punishment for me. It is even though it is an extreme punishment. So he is so matured and he is accepting it. Okay, the boy curse he is accepting. This is what the judgment I was talking about. The spiritual existence is free from the death and birth. So spirituality it releases from the repeated birth and death. The material existence is characterized by repeated birth. So these two we have to compare. Material, what we are presently living, it is cycle going on and on, birth and death. So spiritual is not that. So it is stops. One who is born, he has to die, is certain, and one who dies, the rebirth is certain. So you cannot avoid it. So one can stop. Morning my son was saying that I was preparing for going back to God, and he said everybody will go. So generally common people know, they think that after death they will go to God. So that is not the concept. So we have to prepare. That's what this sloka says. One can stop repeated birth and death by only by going back to Godhead. When we can stop it? Well, unless we don't go to Vaikuntha, we cannot stop it. Going to personal abode of Lord Sri Krishna. So Prabhupada also in 1944, a book, he started the book of Back to Home, Back to Godhead. It's even now it is very popular book. So in that book he says that in that the goal of human being is to stop repeated birth and death. The whole agenda is his writing book is how to stop this repeated birth and death. How can we do it? So by preparing oneself at the end of the life, one who leaves the body. So we have to prepare for that. When we leave the body, how we can go back there? We will not take another material body. We will go to spiritual kingdom of Godhead in a spiritual body. That also we will not go in this body. We will go with a spiritual body only. Being a Brahmaloka, being of Brahmaloka to the Patalaloka, 14 planetary system, where repeated birth and death takes place. So generally common people and other spiritualists, they will want to merge with, they want to go to Swargaloka. They'll think that, okay, if I go to Swargaloka, I enjoy and I will not die. No, even in Swargaloka, people have to die. Though the different planets have the different timings, the higher planet will have a longer duration of life, better place for comfort living and better facilities for sense enjoyment. So why people are anchoring for higher planet like this Swargaloka? Because they want to enjoy. So they will live the longer life. Here we are 100 years, it is dropped down to 60, 70. So there you will be lakhs of years they will stay back. The peoples are more pious in upper planet, but still one cannot avoid repeated birth and death. They are very pious people, even like Brahmaloka, Surgaloka, whatever loka, no, they are very pious people. Even after going to the topmost planet in the existence of Brahmaloka, knowing this, one should accept the path of perfection. So we have to understand, even going to Brahmaloka, we'll die. So better let us practice path of perfection. We have to practice, accept it. Generally, people don't take up the going to back home, back to Godhead. So yesterday, one nursing students came. I said that, do you want to die? She said, no, I don't want to die. I said, one day you have to die. Your grandma is there? She said, yes, there. Grand-grandma is there? No, she is not there. Then how she died? So people want to live. They don't want to die. There is a qualification. Who can go to the spiritual world? This is a very good point. What qualification we should have so that we can go there? There are those who are free from all material attachment. First and foremost is first we have to live. Suppose I always give an example. When you want to climb the step, unless you release your one foot from the step, you cannot go up. Correct? No? If you keep both the legs at the steps, you will be there only. If you want to climb the same way, unless you want to go to spiritual world, you should give the attachment of material things. The material attachment is become free oneself if you follow the path of perfection. So Prabhupada clearly given a book also, the path of perfection. So he's given step by step how we can release material attachment and going back to that. The material prosperity like fever. So this is also Prabhupada given another example that fever means healthy body is disease condition. So doctor says that, we also say that fever means what? That day we can't do anything. The healthy body becomes sick. So disease condition. Instead of reducing the disease to going instead of reducing the disease, what happened? To take, if you are fever, you should take some tablet, so that the fever will come down. But what the people do that happily drink ice cream and juice. So material enjoyment they will try to do, not thinking of that. So what happened? It counteracts. The fever is a counterproductive. So instead of reducing, it will increases. The material prosperity also is disease condition. When you have plenty of wealth, what happened? It is also turning to the human disease condition of human society. Because in this material world, we are not meant to stay comfortably and settle down here. So, Dukkalayam Asaswatam. So, Krishna branded it. Okay, don't stay here. It is not a right place to stay. So, that is for whom he is telling it for devotee. The certified place for misery and temporary in all circumstances, this place. So, we have to endeavor to go back to Godhead and prepare oneself free from all material attachment. So, that is daily we have to start meditating. So how I can detach it, all the things and go back there. The material prosperity, material, the one was the Prabhupada Parpati was saying that material poverty stricken people can't make it stay comfortable. There is one movie was there, Kamal Hassan there, near Bangalore only they shot, it is in Vincent Manor. That he used to stay there and outside one beggar is to be there. In footpath only. He will sleep whole day and night, he'll be there. One day he'll die and the BBMP people, garbage people, they'll come and dispose his body. When they remove the gunny bag, whole of body will be there. So his purpose is clearly that. So poverty man, he is beggar, he cannot stay comfortably. With that body, he could have stayed nicely in the Vincent Manor hotel itself, all his life. Not even like we stay for one day in a hotel. So much of wealth he has it. So even the other day also there's a news was there in Bombay. He has got, in Bombay he has got 4 or 5 apartments. Okay, he's a beggar, daily begging in the foot signal. And he has got so much of assets, so much of where investment are not done. He is not even the chartered account can invest. He is so much brilliant. So, but they are not comfortable. So that's what the point is. We are not comparing them. We say that they are detached with the material attachments. Okay. If someone is materially prosperous, then they have attachment to material belonging. So rich people always know they will going on attachment with that. During course of time, we develop attachment and impediment on the path of spiritual life. So when you attach something with all the gadgets and everything, we are not able to progress in spiritual path. So how come there's another point also Prabhupada says that the curse become a blessing. So Parikshit is saying that whatever curse he got, it is a blessing. Because Parikshit is got detached from both political and social. So he is just to give up. Okay, take it. But that's what another class also was saying it. One day if you, your mobile only, if you miss it, you can't do any job. You will go on searching for that only. So that small mobile, you got so much attached. Parikshit Maharaj was is the emperor of whole world, and he has got wife, children, and so much of wealth and cows, so many things there. He just like that gave up. He just walked out of that. Knowing his death for 7 days, he renounced his kingdom and going to the sacred place. He is not going and sleeping. He is searching for a sacred place. For what? Associate the saintly person to prepare himself to become a detached and going back to home, back to God. That's what we are supposed to do. Here, Bhagavatam and Mahabharata also teaches. Sacred place. Because the renounced people, that saintly people, they will not in the city happily in a luxurious life and all. They will stay in a secure place and practice the bhakti. So we have to take association with them, and from there we have to. So coming back to the point, so how Parikshit Maharaj, is that a punishment is justifiable? One more point is that unjustified for punishment. So suppose you are done some stealing of 100 rupees, there is a proportionate punishment there. If you stolen a lakh of rupees, then there is a such proportionate is there. For 20 rupees somebody stolen, for that life sentence is given. Is it proper? It creates revokes. Okay. Usually, if you see that communist country, country or communist state, small thing also they will make it big thing also. So there they will judge like that. Similarly, the experienced judges give a inappropriate judgment, create revoke. So it creates agitation. Sometimes if the politician, even a prime minister or president, not done properly some this thing, so whole country revokes. They go against and ask him to get on from the post. So this all happens. Not so here Shringi, what is the condition? He's not even experienced. He don't have experience. He's 7 years old boy given a judgment to die in 7 days instead of using his power. So he's supposed to use his power to bless the king. Instead of that, he is using power to curse the king, to die. So it is huge. Okay. So this is always how judgment is. That's what today we are going to understand from this sloka what Prabhupada is revealed it. The Parikshit was not only the biological connections with Krishna. Okay. He's because Parikshit Maharaj's sister is Subhadra grandson. So that's why. But also devotee in consciousness. He's always consciousness. He's always meditating of Krishna, speaking. That's why his name also Parikshit, who gave darshan when he was in the womb. So Samik Rishi feels guilty. That also Prabhupada clearly says that. So sometimes it happens that somebody is not taking pardon from you, means forgiveness. Some misunderstanding happens, some offenses happen. That person is not openly asking forgiveness, but you should accept it. So here, because we have to show that background of it. Like example, you and our Jagannath has some understanding, but by fist of anger you shouted. So Jagannath should not expect that, oh, I am not wrong, that prabhuji should come and ask forgiveness. You got it? Superior, elderly person to the younger person. So here also the Samik Rishi feels guilty in his heart. How could my son do a mistake? Okay. So he knows it. His son has made a mistake. So he is unable to face the king. Okay, that's why what he said, he sent a representative to convey the message to king that you are going to die, this is a curse. And because when the curse was given, Parikshit was not in the scene. He went back to the palace. So he didn't know that message, what has curse has come. So he sent a message because his son told that this is how I cursed it. So he sent a message. So at least for that message, things will be prepared for his death. So that is the repentant. So something happened, we should feel repentant and find a solution to that. Similarly, the Parshit Maharaj also meeting Samikrishi personally also has shamed him. He also feels ashamed of going and meeting him. It happens in lovers, husband, wife, or boss to junior. In day-to-day life, we may see that sometimes we'll feel ashamed for the mistake to meet that. And so, if I raise why Parshit Maharaj is avoiding to meet Parshit, if I go and raise the question, is that your son who cursed me unjustingly? So if I ask the same, what something happened, if I go and ask it, it embraces the Samikrishi also, correct? No? He is an exalted devotee and rishi. So that's why he don't want to meet him also. So both the peoples are highly elevated souls. That's what Prabhupada also says. They are self-realized. So Samikrishi was a mystic yogi and Parishit Maharaj was a exalted devotee. They are not an ordinary souls. So we have to understand that. So Samikrishi and Parishit Maharaj did not meet each other and talk each other. Nothing happened. But message is conveyed. So here we are talking again and again on the judgment. So English, there is a beautiful word is there. There's two words, right, wrong. Generally we apply this formula only. So meeting, what do you mean by right? If you do something right according to the social standard, okay, so everybody accept it is right, okay, social standard. Then what do you mean by wrong? If people doesn't accept it, okay, what you are doing, then it's a wrong. Generally, that's all. Simple. Let's understand the basic funda of what is right, what is wrong. Because we go with right. The right and wrong usually keep shifting. The problem is it is not a standard, apply the thumb rule. Okay, it's a technical, it's a very technicality. But we not understanding that what is right, what is wrong. We use that as a scale to measure or judge people. So that we have to be very careful. Example, let's take some example to understand little more about what is right, what is wrong. When was where was the Independence India declaration signed in 1947? The question is where it was signed. The declaration was signed. The answer, one of the answer is it was signed on the bottom of the page. Correct. He said where was the signature done? It's on the bottom of the page. Is it wrong? Wrong answer? No, it's right only. It is signed on the bottom. The question is there, answer is there. Is it explains that what you are expected? Then comes to the another level of thing which is supposed to be applied. Okay, that is appropriate, inappropriate. Okay, suppose something you are saying, that has to be supported by one more foundation. So this foundation we never bother. So that is why we have to understand appropriate, inappropriate. The appropriate answer is the name of the city where it was signed. Suppose Delhi it has happened. So where was that? So question is where was Independence Day declaration, Independent India declaration signed in 1947. Your expected answer is where means so Delhi. So place you expected that. The signed, but the student understood that as signed. So where it's signed, it's bottom of the page. So we have to go a little deep into that appropriate, inappropriate to give a judgment to the right or wrong. You got it? So let's take a couple of more example also. How was it signed? How was it signed? So generally, how was it signed? Then you say that with a pen. How is it signed? It is pen. But this is right, wrong kind of simple answer. But when you go to appropriate, inappropriate, if you apply that formula, then it gives little more information about that, the jubilant feeling, because they struggle a lot. So many people died, correct? Independence, before independence, so many people died, sacrificed their lives to fight against the British people. So when the announcement came in the radio, that time only radio was there, so people were feeling this jubilant feeling of happiness. This is appropriate. You got the meaning of appropriate, how it is applied in that when you give judgment to something, incident. Okay. So what does it take to catch a criminal? So how you will catch a criminal? So you will see that what is CCTV camera footage nowadays available footage is there. So many ways to find a criminal. So easily now paper also is there. First day they run on somebody stolen by ATM from the this whole ATM was stolen and gone, and the next day you can use the it came okay we caught the culprit. He was taking in the metadone. So it's all technology is available. The how difficult to catch a criminal? Next question. How difficult to catch a criminal? It's okay nowadays modern technology there easily they caught it. How difficult to sentence a criminal? This is a very appropriate question. How difficult to sentence a criminal? So judge why when you file a case it is not a moment you file the case immediately the judge will not give the answer even though it's petty case or a big criminal. Because the sentence, the judgment is not that easy one. So should we punish or free? First it will come to the judge. No, he has to analyze. Should I have to punish him or free him? Was it intentional violence? Is it intentionally he did the violence? Was it a cause of self-protection? Sometimes it happens also. To protect oneself, the murder could have happened. Which of the two is easy? Is catching a thief is easy or sentencing to a thief is easy? So here the answer is sentencing because you have this is where the devotee has to understand how to judge. I was telling now from this sloka we have the essence of the message is judging. Okay, so we have to analyze the whole case is called what are the other things we have to understand? That family culture. So before judging somebody, we have to see that what is the family culture of the, is it a family itself is a criminal family? Or the history of criminal is psychologically is a crime person. So some people know psychologically, they will go on like one of the, this person also, Vena. He will play with his friends. Last Sunday he was giving example. He will kill them. Okay, so it's a psychological thing. So does it for a long time is it doing it for a long time? It means repeatedly doing this one. The crime is but a crime, the criminal is a nice person, but fist of anger incident has happened. So this many questions we have to apply to give a judgment. Okay. So generally it happens in day-to-day life. We say the big vehicle and collide with a small vehicle. First we'll finger point the big vehicle. Suppose a car is hit a bicycle, we say that the car is a faulty. Even the bicycle person might have come crossing because we always see the big. Similarly, the big person clash with a small boy, we find a fault with the big person only. No, that is small boy. Why you are hitting him? You only made a mistake. So you didn't see that. So this is what generally we make a judgment, wrong judgments. So how we have to judge it? We don't take the hard work to understand whether it's a crime for committed by both the people. We won't do all this analysis. Singularly committed by big person or whether singularly committed by provoking by someone, the small boy. The big person is hitting him. It could have been that small boy may be provoking him, like going on teasing, no? Fist of anger, he'll beat. So these are the things we have to be very careful. Before give judgment as analyzing, judging, we have to be very careful on that. Okay. So if a murder happens, okay, then how the judges will behave. The punishment is X. Suppose a murder happened, the punishment is X. Okay. The murder happened for a self-protection. Is it a punishment is equal to X or it is greater than X or lesser than X? So understood the question? For self-protection, if murder has happened, if the punishment is equal to X or greater than X or lesser than X? It should be lesser than X because it's self-protection. So if the murder has happened, stabbing was a cold-blooded planning was done for, he's planning for 6 months and the murder has happened. Then it is a greater than X or equal to X or lesser than X. It's a greater than X because the planning. So here that it is not a stabbing, okay, and it is the intent behind the stabbing. So 2 days back, there is a the CEO of a company, lady, mother, she's 33 years something old. She killed her 3 months old baby or 3-year-old baby. Okay. So what I'm saying is it's a planned. So paper writes so many information, but how it has been done, how we have to exaggerate, that is more plays a more important role. It, in our life also, when something happened, we declare it's a right or wrong. So we also apply that right or wrong. The gentleman like him spoke like this, behaved like this. It takes a lot of cultural awareness and it takes a lot of sensitivity. So something happened, we have to analyze so many things before giving right or what is told is right or wrong. We may be right, but we may not be. We may be right. We may be inappropriate also. Case. We may be wrong, but we may be appropriate also. So this is very technicality. Before we judge someone, we have to be very careful on these things, how to judge a person right or wrong. So Chaitanya Chaitamrita also, it happened that Govind, you might have heard it. He was a personal assistant for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Puri, he was there. One day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sleeping on the entrance of the door. So Govind crossed, he jumped on the other side, he'll massage it. After that, it's a long time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will get up and he will ask, have you had prasadam? He said, no. Why? He said that, how can I jump and go and have prasadam? Then he said that, how did you come inside? No, I jumped and came. That same way you should jump and go on. He said that when I come inside, I was doing service to you. When I going out, I am servicing myself, means my senses. So I didn't do that. So you got it right. The action, which is right or wrong, very important for us. To become a judge, it is not only the intelligence required. Just I studied LLB, whatever the law thing and all, you cannot become judge. We should be sensitive, extremely foresighted. We have to be foresighted. What are the consequences of this decision? So like Ram Jambhuvi, they declared so much of precaution they took it. Similarly, when 390 article is given in Kashmir, so much of precaution, so many military went and before the declaration, all precaution. That is what the consequence of these decisions, foreseeing the problem. See how Modi is, we have to learn all these things. The Sringh is not an intelligent, first we have to understand. He is a 7 years old, not even cultured. He is not even cultured. Because if he is cultured, he could have gone and asked for a father that what I have to do. Correct? He didn't ask. He is not cultured. Not even, okay, understand. We have to understand, one Raja Rishi is taken out of this planet. The whole planet become breeding ground for all the rogues, for people. Okay, it takes 100 years to get a Raja Rishi. See how Bhagavatam says, how much difficult. So appropriate, inappropriate is grounded is eternally. It is very foundation. And right and wrong will be grounded temporary situation. So it is a very this thing. So to temporary, we should ground a strong this thing. Like we always say, no, building is strong, basement is weak. So understood. Basement should be strong, then only building can be strong. So with this, there's a lot to speak about, a lot to learn. So time permit, maybe tomorrow class also we can pick it up. Thank you. Dandara SrimadBahagavatam ki. I think some message you have heard from this. Is it useful?
Yeah, definitely. Bhagavatam is very useful.
Actually, that's what it is.
So a few points I made.
Yes.
The first one, first of all, thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving wonderful Bhagavatam class.
Very good.
And the shloka is very, very useful. The first one is, the goal of human being is to stop the repetition of birth